All right. So at the beginning of the month, there was a challenge by a lease purchase operator, SFI with the JB Hunt truck that said he wanted to challenge other drivers to $15,000 net for the month of May. All right. And May is a unique month because you have 5 pay periods in the month of May. Okay. So you got 5 cracks at getting $15,000 netted to you, not gross, but actually go into your settlement, what goes into the kitty fund, what goes into your bank account, what goes into mama's pocket, what goes into daddy's pocket, what's gonna go ahead and take them kids to Chuck E. Cheese, 15K for the month of May. And I say, you know what? That'll be a cool that will be a cool challenge, right? Because I want to see just how much I can do for the month of May. Right? Can I get myself to 15K? Can I get to 20? Because some of y'all drivers, y'all be talking crazy on this internet. And I was like, you know what? If they can do that in 1 week, surely I could do that in a month. Let's see how I did. Let's see how I did. Let's see exactly how I did. So I went on and I had download and I upload all of my settlements for the month of May into Chat GPT because it's just going to be a whole lot going back and forth. I ain't got time for it. Y'all already know how I use Chat GPT. Hopefully y'all using this too. If you're not, shame on you. Shame on you. Use all of the technology to make you a better driver, to make you a smarter driver. I can't stress this enough. All right. Use the technology, guys. All you got to do is just upload it and it'll break all the information down for you, man. All right. So for me, my very first week, that was uh the first settlement, right? Came in on that first week. I had netted $600, $663. Okay. With that week right there, I had messed up. And let me see if I'm on the right screen. Yeah, I had messed up because sometimes on the JB Hunt load board, what they would do, they would place a lot of loads without a fuel surcharge. Okay, if you know anything about JB Hunt or just driving, period, a fuel surcharge is basically how you get paid out here. Yes, you do get paid for the load, but the fuel surcharge is where you're going to make your money at. And I had booked this one load. It had went from, I want to say, California over to Texas. It had a good revenue on it. It had paid something like $3, $3.50 per mile, but it didn't have a fuel surcharge on it, man. So it really knocked my damn head off, right? And when I had tried to cancel the load, it was like you already got it booked. You're gonna be charged with the surcharge, with the service failure. I'm like, man, look how y'all do. I should have just took the service failure because I don't get many of them. Cause shit, there was another one that I could have gotten that would have got me right where I needed to be for the week. But anyway, watch out for those loads if you're on the load board at JB Hunt and you are a lease purchase operator. Be very, very strategic how you pick your loads. I've never seen that before until this year. And it didn't happen until the fuel prices went through the roof. Like all my years working at JB Hunt, there's always been a fuel surcharge on every load. I'm talking about when the days during COVID and right before COVID, it was so competitive where if you would let a load just sit on the load board for too long with trying to uh, go through and analyze and check out the specs and try to map out a route for it, somebody already done booked that load and gone. Okay. It was just like that. You had, if you like that load, you had to go ahead and click on it and go. But not today. You're going to have to really go through there. Go through those loads because a fuel surcharge, no fuel surcharge, that was absolutely suicidal. for me. All right, so $663 is what I had netted for that first week in May. All right, 24 cents per mile is my net. I told you the fuel surcharge just knocked my damn head off. That next week, I had netted $1,390. Okay, all right, with a net of 55 cents per mile. All right, so from here, I was like, hey, I had to really stop and really strategize on how I was going to go about trying to get to this 15K. And I spoke to my CC, my fleet manager, and I said, hey, wake your ass up. I said, there is a driver here at JB Hunt. That fool said he can get $15,000 in the bank. I need to get $15,000 in the bank, and if I can't, I'm gonna fire your ass. And she said, well, let me see. Send me a link to this driver because $15,000 is a line. I said, I know. But he talking greasy. He got the same setup I got. He got the same truck. Shit, as a matter of fact, I think mine might be newer than his. Same truck. Ain't no way he should be getting 15K and I'm looking like I ain't gonna do nothing but clear maybe 3. Nah, we ain't doing that. Tighten up. Let me get back to my screen. So, with that being said, things started to turn around from that conversation. Sometimes you got to have a conversation with your fleet managers, man, and your CC. Sometimes you just got to talk to them like, yo, hey, what the fuck y'all got going on? Sometimes y'all got to ask these people, what you got going on? Wake up. All right? Like, yo. There's a lot of money out there and we missing it. All right, so that third week is when we finally got it together. We got $2,198. All right, $2,198 with a net cents per mile of 70 cents per mile. All right, we did a little bit better. Then that next week did even better. $2,571. All right, hey, see, we got that thing rolling. Sometimes a conversation is what you need. Sometimes you got to have a conversation with these people, man, to go ahead and get some things moving. Like, yo, what are you doing? Shit. All right. And then my best week for the month. Oh, before I move on too, my net per mile was $1.04 that week. That is outstanding. $1.00, anything over $1 with a lease purchase payment coming out. That's, hey, Bo, how the hell you did that? And let's do that again, okay? Let's do that again. Let's go ahead and just pause. All right, that was the lawyer. Talking some money talk. Everybody wants some damn money at the end of the day, man. We're talking about around about shit, $20,000 owed to the damn lawyer, bro. All right. So where were we? $1 per mile. That is outstanding work. You know, to net with a lease purchase. I'm telling you, it's starting to feel kind of like COVID. It's starting to feel like those COVID days. Those COVID numbers were absolutely insane. If y'all were around for COVID, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I am talking about, man. Everybody was eating real good during COVID. Let's get back to the screen right here. That final line, $3,092. $3,092 with a net cents per mile of 94 cents per mile. So I finished the month up strong. I had to have a conversation with my Fleet manager. I had to talk to my fleet manager. Couldn't get it out. Sheesh, just talking to the lawyer. Yeah, man, my fleet manager. You got to have those conversations, guys. I'm telling you, if you don't have a conversation, they just going to continue kind of just letting you run and spin your damn wheels. And you're like, yo, hey, yo, y'all need to tighten up. Y'all need to tighten up. Get me somebody who go get me where I need to be, because ain't no way he's making more money than me. And I know I'm driving hard. He's making more money than me. No, I ain't trying to hear all that. Nope, and no. Nah. Y'all got me messed up. All right. Let's go ahead and I ask chat to go ahead and break this thing down a little bit more, man. And I asked ChatGPT what was my total revenue, gross and net for the month. The totals. I want the absolute totals. All right, so my total for the month of May. All right, my total gross for May was $30,438.69. Man, that's pretty damn good. It's pretty good, man. $30,000 in 1 month. If we were to do that over the course of a year, man, you talk about 300 over what 36 $300,000, man. That's definitely doable if everything projects out the way it's supposed to be over the next few months. All right. So my net for the month fell short, though. It fell quite short of the $15,000 challenge. I put in the bank $9,915.52. That is what I had made. All right, so I fell quite short of 15K. That around what, $6,000? Huh? 5,100 maybe. Because let's go ahead and just round that up to 10,000. I was short 5K. Okay. And just looking at 15K for the week, right? I mean, for the month, 5 weeks, I would have to have $3,000 hitting every week. I had needed to do that. But as you can see, from a few weeks, I had a $600, I had a 1,300 and a 15, right? I think that's what it was, man. And it was just, it was like, yo, I needed to have a conversation. Right? It was 600, and then at 1,300, then it kind of picked up from there, 2,000, 2,500, then a $3,000 settlement. But what I had needed was $3,000 every week for 5 weeks straight, which was doable, right? That one load from California like really messed me up. That probably would have took me to probably about 12,000 net. Just looking at the numbers, if I could just do it off the top of my head. And that 1 week where I had came in at 13,000, I could have did a little bit better right there. And that probably would have took me to maybe 14 grand. But I fell short. I fell way short of the 15K. I would like to see what the other driver did. I would like to see what's his name? Trucker Hood, that's his name. All right. And that means roughly that 32% of the growth stayed in your pocket, which is great, right? 32.6% stayed into my pocket. That is industry standard right there. 33% going to the driver. That is great. Operating cost is $67. What? $67. 67.4%. 67.4%. Okay. That's pretty great. That is pretty damn great. All right. Weekly average numbers. This is what I had averaged. Let's see. Average net was $1,983.10. That what I averaged, $1,983. Like I said, that is way short of what my goal was. I had needed at least another 1,000 on top of that. That means I had needed another 1,000 on top of that. All right. And then ChatGPT is just doing some talking down here, saying week 1 was survival mode, week 2 stabilization, week 3 I picked up that momentum, week 4 efficiency, and then week 5 production powerhouse. So you got to have that conversation with your CC. Have that conversation with your fleet manager. If you don't do anything else, have a conversation with your fleet manager, because your fleet manager really can make or break your profits. Okay, they really can. All right. I fell short. 9,000 is what I got. 9,000 is what I had ended up doing. I would like to know what you guys have done out there who took place with the 15K challenge. I would like to know. These are my numbers. These are my numbers right here. And that's perfect. And shit, that thing says so close but not done. Yeah, man. I had some hiccups. And I should have been a little more proactive. Uh, I like these type of challenges, dog. I really do, man. If y'all out here want to make some challenges, because that's what it's all about, man. Sometimes I don't be motivated. I ain't gonna lie. Like there's certain lanes I don't want to run that makes good. That's a decent paying lane, like going from Indiana to the East Coast. That's a good damn lane, but the damn road's so raggedy. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks just thinking about going down I-70, dog. I-70, it can pay great. And as a matter of fact, you could do a nice little back and forth situation that'll get you where you need to be. But shit, you'll probably end up paying that out in tires when you done with I-70. Anyway, that's just me ranting. I did 9,900 net. That's what I did. What y'all did this past month. All right. Challenge was accepted. I didn't quite deliver, but these are my numbers. Hey, let's see yours. Hey man, it's a great day in trucking. If y'all don't get discouraged, all right? Hey, 10 racks ain't nothing to sneeze at any time, right? 10 racks per month ain't nothing to sneeze at. Let's not get that twisted. That's on top of the SFI payment that came out every week, right? You know what I mean? Like if I didn't have that payment, right, that would have been 15K right there. Right? If I could have, did some things a little bit different, that would have been another, 1,000, on top of that. So you're looking at a good possibility of maybe 2K for the month. All right, my phone is buzzing. Let me go ahead and get on up out of here, dog. Until next time, man. This is a good day in trucking, man. This is BMT.